welcome back to Past Due Movie Reviews. I'm here with my brother. It's Tyler and Lance Richards. We're again coming from Ohio and backwoods Florida. I don't know why I say backwoods Florida, but that's just
it's
what
backwoods.
comes to my mind. Well, we're really dreary here in Cleveland. I don't know if anybody knows, but we're so dreary. We actually get more cloud cover than Seattle. So that's what I've been told. But so I picked the best place in the world to live.
We love it here.
But
I didn't.
well,
I didn't
but
know
we're
that
here.
you
We're
guys
back.
were so dreary.
Oh yeah, it's terrible. If you go to Columbus, you're like, oh, I didn't know Ohio could be this nice. I didn't know Ohio had the sun. But it's all right. It's all good. But what's up, man?
Oh man, not much. I'm glad it's Friday. Got our last little bit done that we're working on a house, or at least putting the sheathing on for a roof. It's not all the way done, but it was a very productive day, so we feel pretty good about that. Nice and relaxed for work.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're
Awesome.
we're here to talk about Willow.
Willow, you idiot!
Mumbo Jumbo,
I like this
give me some eggs or something.
Mumbo Jumbo, I am hungry. Go get me some eggs or something.
We are not afraid of you.
Now!
I put a teaser out there. No one tried to guess what the movie was, but that's fine. I try to leave it about as it the word ambiguous, but as much as possible, because if I showed Warwick Davis, everybody's gonna figure it out. But or Val Kilmer. But yeah, I like that part of the movie that I shared. But yeah, Mumbo Jumbo. The brownies are definitely one of the funny comedy reliefs part of that movie. But
oh yeah,
I love this movie. It's yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely one of our favorites growing up. It was one of those that it was like if I was bored on a Saturday, it was a movie that I would pop in, or if I was homesick and mom was busy, I'd watch it because she didn't really like fantasy movies, and that one was kind of a dark one. I'm surprised that we got away with watching that one.
Oh yeah, like especially at the end of the movie, you really see what she's trying to do is like not just try to kill this. She's trying to kill a baby, and then she's trying to banish it with blood and lightning to another realm. And you're like, oh, this is really dark magic stuff. This is Bab Morta.
What? Exiled by the evil queen Bab Morda.
But yeah, tell us a little bit about this movie, Lance. Did you get any background on it?
Not any background other than it's a Ron Howard movie, but it was produced by Steven Spielberg, but the story's by George Lucas. So it had there's some big names behind it. Growing up, I didn't understand who like Val Kilmer was. I just liked the character of you are a great swordsman. So anyway, but Val Kilmer, I always liked his character, and looking back on it, it's like, man, I can't even tell that's him with like the long black wig that he had on, because he usually had like blonde hair, and I don't know, he like totally changed his look for this picture. And then he did end up marrying the girl that was his love interest in the movie. I can't remember her name off the top of my head.
Joanne Whalley.
Yeah, Joanne Whalley.
I think it's Joanne Whalley. Yeah.
Yeah, something.
Yeah.
But that's kind of a fun little thing.
Yeah, I thought that was funny. And there was definite chemistry. You could tell there's chemistry between them. The one weird part of that is like there's a love story, and then all of a sudden they're together and they never really talk about it again. It never really, except that she's turned against her mother. And this movie moves really quick. You got to be watching it because it just keeps going. One little thing I found out about it, and Warwick Davis is Willow, but I found
his first starring role.
Oh yeah. Like he had just done Star Wars. The Return of the Jedi, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think Return of the Jedi, he was like 12 or 13 or 14. He was like a
Yeah,
kid. This one, I think
yeah,
he was like 17, and he was I think the lead actor.
yeah, yeah. Which is incredible for. I mean, he is really good actually. If people don't realize how good he's been in so many things.
Oh yeah.
But one of the things about what was I gonna say? Oh shoot. Oh, I found out. Um, George Lucas had wanted to do Lord of the Rings, and he couldn't do a Lord of the Rings movie. He couldn't get the rights. So this is kind of a idea where he's like, "Hey, yeah, we wanted to have that same idea. It wasn't completely the same, but I think it ends up being very original. Like if you look at it, you're like, oh wow, I do see Lord of the Rings in this at some level, or at least inspired by. And George Lucas was even inspired by a lot of things. If you take Star Wars, he was inspired by the Dune novels, but he he just took that story, and I think it's one of a kind. I don't think if you look at it, you go, it's not really a ripoff. It was just inspired, and then they created their own thing. But I think Warwick Davis is definitely he's at his prime in some of his acting chops right there. So it was fun.
Yeah, I think as far as like Warwick Davis's performance, for being such a young actor and not having probably a lot of movie roles to his name at that point, so like definitely Star Wars as he was unnamed in Star Wars, but he was Wicket in the Ewok adventure, and then whatever the
Yeah,
other Ewok movie was, the Battle for Endor. That was my
the
favorite.
Battle of Endor.
We
I
will
know.
have reviews on those because they're classics. Classic
Oh,
crappy
it,
movie TV
but hey, you gotta
movies.
love it. You gotta love it.
Yeah, it was a good story. Again, George Lucas, great story idea guy. But yeah, so Warwick Davis, he's married to this girl or woman named Kaya, and like, even there's like
Mhm.
chemistry between those two characters. They play off
Mhm.
really well with each other. We've got the music score by that guy we love so
James
much,
Horner
James
or
Horner,
John? Yeah, James
John Horner.
Horner.
What? Nothing. Okay, all right. See you later.
All right. I think
Man, we're gonna get
John
beat
Horner.
up for this.
I don't know.
The
Here,
Titanic guy.
real time.
But the music kind of soars when they're coming together, and he has to go on this epic journey, and she's like, "We've never been apart, and I miss you already," and she gives
Yeah,
him something for good luck or to remember her by, and it's a lock of her hair, and then he like, "Oh yeah, like you did cut your hair," and the music, but the music at that point, it just you start to see what this is, how good this adventure is going to be, and kind of this what
yeah,
he's like the purpose of the journey. You kind of sense it
yeah,
emotionally there.
yeah. Like it definitely builds. You know, it was funny that part. I was gonna bring that up too. We were watching it. I was watching it with London and Tiberius, and she gives him the lock of hair. And of course, you and I have watched this movie, and we have some more knowledge about that was really significant in medieval times and things like that. Women would do that quite often, and they London's first reaction was like, "Gross! Did she like give him a hair? Like that's gross!" And I was like, you don't understand. Like there was no pictures, there was no anything like that. A lock of her hair was it's like it was having a part of her with him. I mean, physically, like it was her physical self. Yeah. I mean, if I was then, I would want a lock of my wife's hair. I mean, that would probably be one of the best gifts I ever got. It's, yeah.
My wife has thin hair, so if I asked for a lock, she'd be bald. But that's funny that London goes, "Oh, that's gross." I thought you were gonna say like they saw it for the first time and there's the lock of hair, the music comes together, and she just starts crying like, "Oh, they're gonna be apart,"
No.
Yeah, gross. That's funny.
Ew. Ugh. Did she wash that?
But you know that
There's no
I wanted to bring
conditioner.
it.
You can tell.
I want to bring it back to the fact that you said it was like Lord of the Rings because I remember I was like 14 or 15 and the first Lord of the Rings movie came out and it was all the buzz. I had no idea what it was. I'm sure you probably
Yeah.
had an inkling because you were a book reader and I didn't care about books. But I had a friend, Peter, and he goes, "Yeah, Lord of the Rings is really good and you should watch it." And I said, "Well, what is it?" It's like, "Well, these little people and they go on a quest and they got to like take this ring and destroy it." And I was thinking like little people on a quest. I'm like, "Oh yeah, you mean like Willow?" And he's like, "Yeah, kind of." But that was the only comparison I had. And I was like, "Yeah, like Willow is like the quick version of Lord of the Rings if you kind of want to." And like you said, because the movie moves quick,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a lot of uh things that you're gonna miss if you don't watch it right away or you're not paying attention. But with that being said, it is kind of fun
Mhm.
because it is a rewatchable movie because it moves so quick. You're
Yeah.
not kind of sitting there kind of bored the whole time. You're like, it's moving fast enough where you can rewatch it and you're getting all the other little things that are included.
Yeah, I mean, like some of the first action sequences are you're watching the midwife take Laura Dannon, and you know the dogs are coming after her and they kill her like within the first couple minutes of the movie. And I'm not spoiling this because if you haven't seen this movie, it is your fault, people. But you know, that midwife is dead, and you're like, oh no. And then Laura Dannon's going down the river. You're like, I hope this is gonna be as good as Moses situation, but and it ends up happening. But um, oops, I think it's fun though too. There's some really cool humanity things in here, like when Willow sees and has joy and falls in love with this baby right away. Is that she was worth taking care of, even if she wasn't a princess. But when the sorcerer or the head elder says, "Do you have any love for this child?" They don't know who she is, and he loved her before he knew anything about her. And I love that in that film. So that's a little nuance in that movie where you could say, well, he knew that she was a princess, but he finds out later that she was, which is really cool. I don't remember how the new series plays out. I don't remember that at all. It's probably pretty forgettable if I don't remember. But
It was
but yeah,
trash.
I love that part of it.
Disney is amazing that they can take such beloved properties and not understand what the heck's going on and just destroy it. I was surprised like
Yeah,
Warwick Davis even came back for it because I was like, well, he's in it, like, and it's called Willow. This is gonna be fun, like to have. Yeah, exactly. It's gonna be a fun continuation of what's going on, and it sounds like they're gonna be Laura Downen or her character, where we
yeah,
get to see where she's at, and it just turned out to be just like like our culture today, just wrapped up in this fantasy series, which was so off-putting, and they just missed the idea completely behind the series. It wasn't even worth. It's not even
yeah.
worth watching. It is so bad. I wouldn't even recommend even wanting to get back into the world. It is nothing like Willow at all. Like the only fun thing I'd say about it is that you get to see Warwick Davis's daughter in the series,
Oh,
and she plays the part of his daughter in the series too. So that's a fun little thing, but it's awful. I wouldn't watch it. I think they actually took it off Disney Plus. Like you can't find it.
are you serious?
Yeah, it was
Oh
that bad.
my gosh.
I think.
Uh,
I could be wrong. It might be one of those things where they put them on, take it off.
they tucked it away. Well,
Yeah, kind of like.
there's movie. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's kind of like the Black Cauldron from like 1985. I don't know if you remember that one.
Oh,
I'm a warrior.
I don't know.
No, it's
Oh
that
my
one's not.
god. No, no. There's it's like the Halloween franchise where Halloween if you I haven't seen all the Halloween movies, but there's like one of the movies, Halloween 3, where it has nothing to do with Michael Myers. They were like taking it to a different direction with a different story because they're like, oh hey, we did not the serial killer, but the psycho killer thing. And we're gonna go in a different direction. We're more mystical and like it did the Celtic Irish thing. and then they go back to Michael Myers because it's not a bad movie. It's actually pretty frightening, but I think people are expecting something else. And then they're like, "Oh, hey, we're just going to erase half of what we created and we're going to go back to Jamie Lee Curtis's original storyline and we're going to act like most of these films never happened. Like they just didn't happen. They're just not there. We're just pretend like they're there." I'm like, I don't watch a lot of horror movies like that, but I was like, that just seems really weird. It's not even a reboot. It's just like we pretended like it didn't happen. I think Superman Returns is one of the first ones that did that. But yeah, so I think that's weird. But Willow, I think you're right. It was James Horner. I looked it up. It is James Horner is his name, the conductor, composer for Willow and for several of the films, actually for all the films except for Short Circuit that we've done so far. So he does a lot of 80s flicks. He was really big in the 80s. So, but yeah. So is there what else about this movie was more fun and memorable? Was your kids surprised by it?
So the kids they were watching it, and like small tidbit, I've got a lot of sons, and so they see sword fights, they see battles, they see guys dressed in armor, and a couple of my younger boys they just dig it. They just dress up and start swinging sticks around. Like, hey guys, there's no sticks in the house. But yeah, so like the younger kids definitely like were watching it. Amanda was really liking it, but then she fell asleep. And so that's typical. She's tired.
That's my wife too.
But I forgot how quotable that stinking movie is. So Willow is looking for he gets the baby back from the brownies, the Nell. I don't know what they call the little people. They call them brownies as a mock, like a bad term because they're little.
Like
but I can't remember what
the
the
really small people.
Yeah,
it was brownies.
Not the Nell one. But
so
they go to this tavern, and he's like walking around, and all these like tough people like, staring him down, and he asked this lady with some busty stuff, "Hey, can you spare some milk for this child?" Get out of here, you little peck.
Yeah.
But the funny. Oh, go ahead. You say it.
No, that definitely was super. Like, I'm glad they chose a different word to be derogatory. I like some of those things because it creates this different thing. Not that I like derogatory words. I'll just bring that back. But like they were able to make it sound a little crass without being crass, So yeah. So it kept it in its PG rating. I'm sure they could have thought of many other words. And
yeah, peck is like a hard turn, like it ends kind of abrupt. Yeah. And and like you think of a peck, you think of just this little thing. So it was actually a pretty good thing. But what I liked about it was for some reason there's like some tussle in the bar, and he gets pushed over and ends up in this room that it's like, where the heck is this? And you see Mad Mardigan in there, and he's been having an affair with this woman, and they're dressing him up like a woman because her husband's coming back, Lug.
Yeah. although Lug seems to have no qualms about sleeping with whoever he didn't want his wife to, which is, and you're like, how did this woman marry this guy who is crazy? He's got a psycho face and he's gonna kill anybody. Like he's just gonna do it.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like Lug was really into transing the people though, because not a woman.
Now, honey. Not a woman. Easy.
Gentlemen,
Not a woman.
meet Lug.
Yeah. Hey guys, meet Lug. And he takes him out.
Well, speaking of transitions, we do have like a transitional character, and I'm not going to say transgender because she doesn't change genders, but she does transition into different forms. You want to get into our wizardess?
Yeah. Brazil is funny because Willow goes to this island. He has to find her on this island of this deserted lake town or lake village. And they actually cut a scene from that film. I don't know if you knew this. I've seen it. It's really bad, and I'm glad they cut it. There's like supposed to be like this lake fish boy or something, and like it just didn't work. And Warwick Davis had to like row and get soaked like all day, and he did it. And then they end up cutting you're like, oh gosh, you talk about torture. But anyway, they end up on the island and they find this little rodent of a thing, and Roselle has been transfigured into this thing, although she was a woman at one point, but she's a powerful sorceress, but she needs Willow to use Cylindria's wand that had been given to Willow to change her back.
Don't interrupt.
Sorry.
Hidde Green Ben Clyde Blunenacht.
I am a young, beautiful woman.
And so there's this idea that Willow's got to figure some of this stuff out, and it's comical because he changes her into all of these, like a crow and a goat. And then there's this one point in the movie where she's turned all these things, and I'm like you're like, hey, chill. And then I was like, you know what? If that was me and I was getting transformed, my body was stretching and bunching and doing all this, I would be so mad. I'd be like, this hurts so bad. But then she realizes she's an old woman because she's like, I'm a young woman. They're like,
no, that's the best. That's one of the funny parts is that I'm a beautiful young woman. And then you got Mad Mardigan. Focus, Willow.
I know. I never caught that till this last time. Focus, Willow. I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that I was like, yeah, focus, Willow, like get it done. But it's like, oh, she just said, I'm a beautiful young woman. Yeah, there's some intention there.
But apparently, she had been, when you finally see her, she had been in the island a long time, which makes sense.
So she was aging this whole time.
Mm-hmm. And Bavmorda is she's old enough, and you're like, oh yeah. And she's probably just making it up that she was a beautiful young woman. I mean, it was probably for laughs, but
yeah.
But she's actually a pretty good character, because it's comical, but there's also some wisdom. She's teaching him, and there's that apprenticeship that so it's like the Gandalf and Frodo relationship at a very, like, so loose. Like, I'm going to say that very loosely because it's not at all.
Fool of a took.
But it's just the mentor idea, which happens in a lot of films. You could say Luke and Ben Kenobi and all those things, but
yeah, just the older teaching the younger, and it's yeah. I mean, it is kind of a Star Wars based story, like the sorcery, the learning how to do these things, and he's a farmer.
Yeah.
You know, Luke was a farmer. You know, there's like some of those George Lucas comparisons.
Oh, right. You know, the one character that I kind of locked in on a little bit was Kale, the General Kale. And you know what? He's like, I have the child! He's like always yelling. And then, and I'm like, what in the world? And then he gets his face slapped at some point in the movie, and by Bavmorda. And I would probably stand back too, knowing that she could turn you into a pig or something like that. I'm like, oh, she's psycho, you know. But like, but he's like soft and meek when he comes to her, and I'm like, and he's got the skull thing, and it's a pretty epic scene with him and Mad Mardigan.
Yeah,
it's a pretty good fight scene.
The General, I mean, that mask, holy cow! Like, people talk about like Darth Vader having the end all be all when it comes to like big, and he's wearing black and he towers over people and he's got the low deep voice. Yeah, Darth Vader's pretty, like, there's something about it, but it's very spacey. That guy is like barbarian. He's got a skull for a mask, and just his big gruff voice. And when he does lift that mask, he's got like Neanderthal brow. I mean, I thought I had a big brow, but I'm like, holy cow! Like, this guy, like, he's all like bone or something. Like, he's got a face.
Yeah. He was. I wonder if it was makeup. I mean, some people have bushy eyebrows. I don't know. I didn't look into that actor. But yeah, you're right. He's like bushy all the way around, and he's just a bear of a man. And but he just yells the entire time, I have the child. this way, and you're like,
But
why are
he's
you
scary.
yelling?
He's scary. I mean, he
Yeah, maybe that's
when Mad Mardigan's buddy is fighting him, you just know it's not going to end well for that guy. He's
I
just
think
out.
it's
He's
funny
just out of his league.
when he goes, "Boo!" and he's like, dude, he's got his sword in your gut. I guess whatever. It's up for
He
grabs.
might have been saying
you
"boo."
know.
I think he was trying to spit in his face or something. But
Oh, yeah, that's
but
probably true.
yeah,
He was,
I as a kid I didn't know. I'm like, yeah, it sounds like "boo," like this weird a guttural reaction of getting a sword to your stomach, I guess. Like, oh, that was really. I
what
step
took me
on you
by surprise.
too.
Well, what took me by surprise on this movie a little bit was I don't know what castles were like, but every castle that you find, I'm like, this thing's a piece of junk. Like, what in the world? Like, has nobody are they all like this? They can't all be like this, but maybe my perception is because when you watch, some of these other films, you're like, oh, they kept up on everything. But I'm like, I've seen Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, and I'm pretty sure they kept the castle pretty clean, I would think. But this looks like everything is all run down and just, but maybe I mean, it's a different world. It's not even the where we live, but it was one of those things. And I'm like, Tears Lean, I'm like, oh, this place is a hot piece of crap. Like, why would anybody want to come here? And then Mad Mardigan just kicks butt in that one scene when they're fighting. He's like, "Do, do, 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 do," and he's shooting with the crossbows, and and the troll thing was pretty fun and awkward. But
Oh yeah, man,
yeah,
that's probably my favorite battle in the movie is when they get to Terrace Lee, and yeah, like you said, it's run down, but then you understand that's kind of the aesthetic of the movie. This is a fantasy world,
yeah,
and some fantasies are like super clean, and you've got like if you think
yeah,
about the white towers of Gondor, you just see this
yeah,
big, just beautiful. Like it doesn't look lived in, like this place looks like it got lived in and was falling apart, and then lo and behold, you've got trolls that are crawling up and down, and you got Mad Mardigan walking in troll crap going trolls.
trolls. I hate
Everything will
trolls.
get better when we get to Terrace Lee. And that's the other thing I think which is great, and it gets you kind of thinking about this world and makes you want to have a rewatch, is that when you get there, people are frozen in stone. You just see these people and there's like these big
Yeah,
blocks, and it's never explained other than this like, oh, they're frozen, but how'd they get frozen? Like obviously it must, you assume it's the magic from Balmorda, but you just don't get any kind of clarification. It's just the city's dirty, there's nobody there, and the people that are there are frozen.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think I missed that for the longest time until I was like, "There's a face in there." Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
kind of creepy.
yeah, it is creepy. There's a lot of things about that movie that I go, whew. Like I know we said that before, be like, oh, this is heavy. This is dark stuff, especially when they send the dogs. The dogs, a
Oh
lot
yeah,
of the
the
time,
dogs are scary.
I mean, they're of course it's makeup or uh, whatever it is. It's just a suit that the dogs are wearing,
Mm-hmm.
the actual dogs, but they're like trying to kill this baby. And like that whole idea of just trying to kill a baby is really heavy and hard. And but I think it captures you right away. It just that a baby is, and I think that idea in the beginning anyway, that a baby could destroy somebody, and then you end up realizing that Bav Morta, at the end of the movie, she kills herself. Like she has orchestrated everything to actually end in her demise without her realizing it. And it's I think it's a testament that we can, as human beings, we can really screw things up for ourselves by just being an idiot, and we can create our
Guilty.
own, yeah, our own trouble, but I mean, I love ice cream, but it's sure not going to sit well in the gut because it's but it's just one of those things. But yeah, I love this movie. I could rewatch it again and again. um I like Burgle Cut. He's a good, like, opening bad guy for Willow, opposition, something for Willow to have a grind against. And
Mhm.
he's very hateable all the way. Bunker! He's
Yeah,
such a pansy.
he's like this big, fat, obnoxious guy that just won't leave Willow alone and has to lord over him. Just like your classic. He's like a classic bully.
Yeah.
And he wants everything to go his way. Yeah, like Funkar, the town's warrior. He
Mhm.
goes, no, he needs to stay here. He's the best warrior in the village. Funkar, step back. and then you go, oh, the elder Nelwyn. Oh, you purple cut, you need to go too. Funkar.
I love the elder because he's mystical, but he's also so practical. I think when he's like, the bones tell me nothing. He's like letting Willow in on the secret, like, this is just for their benefit. This has, and I'm not trying to like intentionally be a jerk, but I want them to, they think that there's all this thing. And he's like, it actually is really simple. And that's when he asked, do you have any love for this child? Like, that's really the reason. It's not the bones. It's what is in driving inside of you to do this, to do what you should or shouldn't do. And I love that Willow makes the right decision, and then he uses the bones to say Burklecut, the bones. And Burklecut has bought into everything. He's like, "Woo!" And then he gets pooped on and thrown up on or whatever. And he gets
ends
his
up being the
just
village idiot.
desserts.
Yeah, like one part
Yeah.
that you get from the local town wizard. They're obviously doing the wizard challenge where it's like which of these 5 fingers holds the power of the universe, and they're all going, well, is this one? And you're like, nope, that one, nope. And finally Willow, you see him hesitate, and then he gives in to the pressure of what everybody else is doing. And then later on, before he goes on the journey, he goes, well, I was going to choose my own finger. What that's kind of implementing is like, you have the power to do what you need to do. It's up to you to do the right thing, which is what the whole movie's about, is Willow stepping up. He was put in this situation where he could do good. Therefore, he chooses to do the good, and he steps up to do the right thing.
Yeah, and he ends up doing the exact thing that he's wanted to do. He had his hands-on training, but I was being a sorcerer. But yeah, great movie.
Before we close off, what did you think of the graphics for it being like an 80s film? It's an 80s film, and it wasn't like your Class A movie. It's, I think, I don't think it did very well in theaters when it originally came out, but it definitely got a cult following.
The one part that it was probably the most graphically different is it's actually stop motion, is the beast during that one battle scene. It's actually stop motion. And they use stop motion to do that, or puppeteering, or whatever it is. It might be puppeteering and stop motion. It might be puppeteering. I don't know. But so they're, practical type of effects that they blew up, but I think it actually worked out really well. There's a couple parts that you can definitely tell. The one that's probably the stupidest, but it's pretty funny, is Mad Mardigan rolling down the hill in the snow thing. I'm like, probably not. He probably stopped at some point and was like, ugh. But no, that was funny. It's just funny. They played it for laughs.
Well, yeah, I mean that whole scene, they're up in that mountaintop, and he gets hit by the brownies powder, the broken heart. I can't remember what the powders, but it's they smack him in the
heart. Yeah.
Yeah, I actually tried those lyrics on a girl once, and it went as smoothly as you thought. Like, it just didn't work. I thought it was kind of romantic. My sun, my moon, my moonlit sky. Yeah. Your death is, or your kiss is worth 1,000 deaths, or something like that. I think I put that in there. It's like, you're a weirdo. So, but yeah, going down the hill on a shield that's like a sled, going through the epic tunnels, and yeah, fantastic. I mean, but yeah, so when it comes to the graphics for this film, I enjoyed it. I thought it was, pretty decent. I think if George Lucas were to like really remaster it like he did Star Wars, he could make it look pretty fun. But with that being said, the practical effects and the puppeteering, and I think you're like stop motion. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure that's what it was, because when you see Mad Mardigan on top of him, he's just not moving correctly. He's like, it's really jerky. But
Yeah.
I think it actually makes these things a lot more terrifying, like the trolls, and the dogs.
Mm.
Like, they're dogs, but like when you're a kid, you don't. And like you just see this thing with, it looks like a big rat with a terrifying looking face, and then you got these trolls and they're crawling around. You're like, oh my gosh, and then you get the water monster thing. But it ends so perfect in that scene, right, where Mad Mardigan falls to the ground, and the girl, sorry, I keep forgetting her name. She picks him up with her jagged sword, and it's like, oh, what's gonna happen? And they just end up kissing, and you're like, oh, I think it's gonna turn out, yeah, Sorsha. I love you, Sorsha. Man, I can't believe I forgot her name. Sorsha. But
worship you, Sorsha. You almost got us killed. I love Work Davis. You never ever drive that fast with an infant. I love what he said. You never ever drive.
Oh yeah, you never drive that fast with an infant. Oh yeah, so there's like so many little quips and things that happen in this movie. It's fantastic. I mean, I can't give enough high praises for if you just want a short, fun adventure with like kind of a gritty fantasy where I think it plays well because there's a little bit of angst and it's scary and there's like some dark stuff like, ooh, I can't believe that's happening. But the humor works. Everything works. I mean, it's a movie that works.
Everything works.
That's why I watched it.
It's one of Ron Howard's best. So way to go, Ron. And his daughter is a director as well. Bryce Dallas Howard directs quite a few things, actually. She directed some of The Mandalorian. Didn't know if you knew that.
Yep.
She is fantastic. I love her work. I love his work. I wish he would do more fantasy and things like that. He does a lot of different things, but he did a Star Wars film, Solo, that I think some people don't like. I liked it, actually. Warwick Davis is in that movie. I like that movie. I think people got fired up about really nothing with that movie. It of course it wasn't going to look. Anyway, we can talk about that movie. Like, I don't want to go down that rabbit trail.
How many Star Wars movies is Warwick Davis in? Because he's in so many different timelines within the Star Wars universe, right?
Yeah, he's definitely. I know he's in
the Phantom Menace.
He's probably in the other two, but I don't know where those would be. I think he's been in just like, sometimes it's been cameos, sometimes it's been practical things. I mean, he played two different characters in Harry Potter. So he's done a lot of work. He's a really good actor. And he's a lot of fun to watch. And I love his enthusiasm in this movie. And his personality is just so big. Like, you can't help but fall in love with this guy. So it was one of those. It ended up being one of those perfect movies. So yeah.
He's a little guy with a big smile and a bigger heart. Yeah, he's the one that you watch the movie, but you watch it for Willow, because you see this actual, like, and this is where the movie Willow is so much better than Lord of the Rings, in the sense of this is an actual little person, and you understand, like, it's not some forced perspective or just updated graphics. Like, this is a little person in a big person's world, and a lot could go wrong. Especially if you're out on a muddy trail and you're asking for milk, and some guy walks up on his horse and says, "All the way, Puck."
Yeah.
Sorry, I had to throw that in. That's my favorite line. I use that line multiple times a day.
Hey,
out of the way, Puck.
Well,
out of the way, Puck.
Well, Lance, I enjoyed this one. This was fun. I love this movie. I don't want to give a teaser for next, because I actually don't even know what we're going to do next, but we'll do a teaser sometime. Just so everybody knows, we're actually on YouTube and Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just so everybody knows that, trying to get more avenues for our content. Yeah, we want to get our content out of there. out there. So like and subscribe. Don't hold back. We want to hear from you. When I put the teasers out there, we want your comments. You can put comments in here, but hopefully everybody has a good night, and we'll see you next time here at Past Due Movie Reviews. So
We'll see ya.
peace out again.
We'll see you, Tyler.